Come with me as I desalinate my artifact. So as you can see, there's a lot of salt deposits that are on this plate, and that's from sitting at the bottom of the St. Lawrence River. And when it was taken up, it was not desalinated properly. Over time, the plate will slowly break away until it's nothing. So I went ahead and started my process, and within the first few hours, this is what the parts per million tested at. 263. That's not even drinkable. Fast forward to a couple months later, you can see that the plate looks so much better. And that's just from soaking up all that water and having that water replace the salt and push it out. This is the spot that I was showing you in the beginning of the video. If you want to know more scientifically about the desalination process, I have another video explaining it a little more in depth, the science behind it and everything. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at this plate. The plate's been in the water for about 6 months now, and as you can see, life is being put back into it. It's got a shine, the colors are amazing, and it feels really good. And what this plate is a first-class plate that was used on the Empress of Ireland, and it was known as the Fontenay pattern. And you know what's really crazy about it is that a lot of these plates were set out for breakfast the next day, and the tragedy struck. And you see the back of the plate, really bad condition. It was flaking, there were pieces that were falling off. It really worried me. There have been so many artifacts that have been lost to time because of the miscare of the artifacts. You know, a lot of these guys went down, dove, and brought these plates back up and put them on a bookshelf without desalinating them or introducing them back into the world again. You know, that's like taking an animal from the rainforest and then putting it in a city. It's not going to do very well unless you try to accommodate the environment that the animal's from. Also, one thing before we get back to the explanation, I need to say that when we're dealing with artifacts like this, especially this plate, we need to remember all the passengers that died on this wreck. You know, these were people coming to start a new life. These were families that came. These were friends. You know, a lot of people get caught up in the money and the story of it, you know, the death and everything that surrounds it. But a lot of people forget that these were just people trying to make a new life for themselves, to start over in the new world. All right, so let's get back to what we were talking about. So it's been a year, and as you can see, there's still a lot of rust and contaminants in here, but now it's time for the chemical bath. And this is the chemical mixture that we'll be using, which contains special acids that will remove the rust and impurities from the plate. So let's go ahead and look at the plate closely just one more time before we go ahead and dip her in. You can see she's a lot brighter and shinier. Desalination only goes so far. And I am holding onto this plate for my dear life. I do not want to drop it, but she still needs some work. I'm going to go ahead and dip her in carefully without getting it on my skin. That's the big thing. I should be wearing gloves, but I'm not. So I will advise you to wear gloves. And now this is a couple hours later. You can already see that it's kind of working in a couple spots. Let me remind you that this is a very slow process. Just take your time. The end result will be amazing, I promise. And here she is, pretty much done with the chemical process. Doesn't she look amazing? All right, now we're going to take this plate and soak it in Windex. Usually what you want to do is neutralize the acid, and Windex has ammonia in it, and ammonia neutralizes acid. You can use baking soda, but Windex was more available to me, so I went ahead and used Windex. And this is the end result of almost 2 years of a process. I just soaked it in the Windex for about 4 months, and she's done. Thank you guys for watching this. I will have more videos to come in the future, and I'm sorry that this was very unhinged and not very well put together, but we're talking almost 2 years of me trying to document something, and I wasn't going to document it to begin with. But thank you guys.